WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, Newman, Sharpsburg, Franklin, LaGrange.
The House of Light brings clarity to your soul, offering a safe space for healing through our compassionate practitioners, services, classes, and wisdom, plus the tools to support you in our retail space.
When you hear music, do the lyrics speak to you on a deeper level? I'm Bruce Thornton. Join me and Donna Wood every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, for our show, Lyrical Wisdom. Every week, we will dive into the lyrics of songs and uncover hidden messages that we hope will leave you feeling inspired and enlightened. We know that our ideas may not always line up with yours, so this show will be an open discussion. Email us with ideas for songs at lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Let's share some wisdom together.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele. It's now time for the House of Light presents The Wisdom Cafe, each and every week at this time on 99.1 FM WQEE. Here's this week's special.
Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning. You caught me off guard again.
I sure did. Welcome, everyone, to the House of Light Presents Wisdom Cafe. I have a very special guest with me this morning, Ryan. We are coming together for the community and what we are calling Sacred Earth, Sacred Self through the Earth Day celebration we're going to have here in Newman at the Greenville Street Park. Woohoo! Yes, this is something that is near and dear to my heart because, as you know, I truly, truly believe that we are Earth. I believe Sam Garrett has a beautiful song in which 4 of my favorite lyrics are: Earth is my body, water is my blood, air is my prayer, and fire is my spirit. So I believe that all the elements exist within us. So when we begin to acknowledge our true connection to Earth and to one another and celebrate it on a day like April 22nd, which is Earth Day, we can begin to understand a little bit more how sacred Earth really is and bring that in and begin to make ourselves and see ourselves as sacred as well. So the founder of this event, I have brought Phyllis Graham in with me, a beautiful, beautiful soul that I am just so lucky to have on my path and in my life. And she has really, really come together with a beautiful program we will be doing from 12 p.m. until 1 p.m. on April 22nd at the Greenville Street Park. And all of you in Newnan would love to see you there, have you come and participate. We're going to be doing some really cool things during that hour. So welcome, Phyllis. So happy to have you.
Thanks, Donna. You are a special person in my life as well, and I have to give to Alfonso Smith. Al was doing, in the last few years, numerous presentations at Greenville Street Park regarding gun violence in our community, and particularly in his African American communities. So we decided rather than to focus on gun violence, but let's focus on the prevention of such realities that are happening. We can't ignore those. So they came about for this celebration probably about 6 weeks ago, and we have definitely appreciated the collaboration with House of Light. And lots of other healing communities in our community. Donna and I had talked probably like 2 years ago about the sign on top of the Carnegie Library being Newman, City of Healing, rather than City of Homes, but we know that healing has to happen within each home and is an ongoing process. I do want to mention that Earth Day started in 1972. That was the first one. Out of that came a scientist, I believe his name is Locklove, and he came up with a Gaia hypothesis. So this was way back in 1972, and he made this statement that Earth and its biological systems behave as a single entity, a synergistic and self-regulating system that sustains the conditions for life on planet Earth. And Gaia goes back to the ancient Greek goddess in Greek mythology of Earth. So until we understand or process on a soul level the connection between Earth and our soul, it's
or just becoming aware and acknowledging the fact that Gaia is an entity, is a self-sustaining entity, a being just like we are, with a soul, a spirit, and life like we have.
The life force. I think that in order for us to respect the planet and just go forward in this spirit of healing and loving each other, which I feel like is the God force. And so then we get into this, whether you're Christian or Buddhist, it really doesn't matter. It comes down to oneness and the love of Christ and the Christ in all things. I love what Richard Rohr says, who's a Catholic mystic out of New Mexico, but he always describes it as a Christ-soaked world, and that just resonates, doesn't it?
Yes, and I think what will help is when people understand what Christ is, not in the being of the man who walked upon the earth. He was a Christed being, meaning Christ is an energy. It's a frequency that we all hold within our heart, and it's based in love. And when one is fully immersed in that love, they become a Christ, a Christed being. And yes, the trees, the plants, the flowers, the animals, they're all Christed beings. Everything has that light, that love within it. And it is up to us as humans, because we have choice, we have free will, to choose to be able to acknowledge and represent that Christ within us.
It's a responsibility,
yes,
to live into and lean into. And the whole thought of leaning is going forward, letting go of the past, which I feel like has been a real barricade for a lot of people to move forward and to create unity in what seems to be a polarized culture right now. So we just hold that out in the light that we will get through this as a society and a culture as we move forward into that oneness.
Mm-hmm. And when we can connect with Gaia, connect with Earth, and really, really begin to see her as a being, as a spiritual teacher for us, we can begin to see how to let go, because Earth does that. She does it in such a beautiful way. If we open our eyes to see
And pause.
you'll see the beauty within the letting go. All the leaves turning orange and red and gold and yellow right before they let go. The trees that become bare, and people sometimes they don't like winter. And when you understand what winter is, being that process of death, in order to allow the rebirth, the newness, the spring, the budding to come forth.
I love that, Donna, and the fact that we just went through the Easter season with resurrection is so powerful. I do want to notate on our poster the beautiful, colorful drawing. That is from the Coweta, Young Artists of Coweta and Newman, which is an organization or a entity that started, I think, in the late 70s by our friend Betty Hickman, and that particular drawing is from 2017, where the young artist came in, and the theme was for the beauty of the earth. So I love that, and we know that the young people have a lot of responsibility, and we're leaving them a lot on their shoulders. So we just hope and pray and move forward that
we have to become their teachers and teach them just through witnessing us. In other words, you become a teacher by just being you and being the sacred self that you know you are, and teaching and treating Earth as a sacred Earth as well. The young people then can begin to see us doing things differently, so that they will learn, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't throw this piece of trash on the ground, because who else is going to pick it up? You begin to really understand those things. They're so simple and yet so powerful.
Absolutely. Yesterday I was at the Young Artist building, and I was picking up these lovely kites that the current group of students have done, and we're borrowing them to have at the park. And Miss Betty's assistant, Terry K. Lewis, was there, and she was telling some students that she remembered the very first Earth Day. She was middle school, high school in Texas, and they came up with a slogan as a competition, and her slogan was give a hoot and don't pollute.
I remember that slogan. Wow. Okay.
That was
I do remember
powerful.
that. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So what are some of the things we can expect during this 1 hour program?
One thing I'm very excited about is the music from Imagine with John Lennon, and that just kind of sticks with me. And one morning I was hearing that lovely guitar rendition without any words, but just that Imagine, and just the power that we have right now in this moment moving forward to create a different world, a more peaceful world, a more vibrant world.
So we're going to have a guitar,
We
right?
are going to have a guitar, and I give credit
We
to
have a young...
Yes, Doug Keys, as everyone knows, has been such a mentor to so many young people and young guitarists. So our guitarist will be Will Davis, and he will provide some background music for us. So I'm very excited about that.
While we read poetry and
There'll be
speakers.
Dance, movement, rendition, which will help with hopefully relay the healing powers that we all have. And at some point, the poetry is so powerful.
I have, yes. Thank you, Phyllis. I have had the beautiful opportunity to hear those words that will be spoken during this event at Greenbelt Street Park, and I am so excited because they moved me. Words are powerful. Everything was, in the beginning, was the Word.
Exactly.
And so there will be a lot of sharing of powerful words at this Earth Day celebration.
And we do want to mention Southern Art Dance, who will have some of their young dancers there.
Yes.
To be present.
Yep, thanks to Paulo and Will, yes, at Southern Arc.
And they do such a great job with all facets of dance and expression and art. And Donna, I like to call it sacred activism, where you're holding out this potential of transformation through activism. Not resistant, but activism to move forward.
I like that. And I like the word sacred in there, because a lot of times when people think of activism, they get turned off very quickly because it's someone pushing their agenda onto society. And this is not what we're doing. We're just sharing things that we have discovered on our journey that have helped us connect with Gaia, that have helped us connect with one another, that has brought that healing into our lives, that transformation into our lives.
So well put. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. The other thing we should mention is that we've rented the trolley, and I've had people say, "Oh my gosh, trolley with a purpose," and I do love that. Because as we know, the city provides that wonderful ability to jump on the trolley down at City Hall and then go to Ashley Park. And I think they're working on doing some additional stops and have increased that. So that's good.
Yeah.
But we intend to have it start at Coweta Forest and then go over to Chalk Level and pick up some elderly or some folks that wouldn't have a way to get to the park. So it's just a fun, happy thing to have the trolley involved in Earth Day.
Awesome. So if you're out and about in downtown Newman on Monday, April 22nd, around 11:30, 11:45, look for the trolley and wave it down, because, yes, we do have the trolley prepared to pick up people to bring them to Greenbelt Street Park.
Right. And it doesn't, hold thousands, but it holds a good number of people that wouldn't normally maybe be able to get there. And Donna, I do have a poem that I think we should share. Do you have anything else that you want to bring up? I just read this morning, and it's just beautiful. And this is part of, I think, the healing process that we want to bring forth to anyone that is present on Monday. And it's called Liminality and Certitude are always at odds with one another. So liminality is that kind of a very just interesting word in that it relates to just time and space, kind of standing still, that ability of spirit to enter. So the poem is by Felicia Morel. Anxiety thrums through the body, unmooring. Pause, relax your shoulders, unfurl your hands, try a deep cleansing breath. Give yourself to the earth. Let Mother gift herself to you. Let your feet hit the soil. Remember the patterns of growth, the cycles of life. Things bury deep. Things grow in the dark. Things rise again. All things transition. In the radiance of dark, there is process, the unfolding of mystery. Things, words, cannot articulate. A threshold to freedom the mind cannot comprehend, but the body feels, the heart knows. This is liminality, the threshold of transition from death to life, from evening to morn, from gestation to giving birth. The unknown is a part of it all.
Oh, thank you, Phyllis. That's beautiful. And that's just a quick little appetizer. Here at Wisdom Cafe, we like serving up little dishes for you all. That's just a little appetizer of what you will be presented on Monday, April 22nd, from noon until 1 p.m. at Greenville Street Park. And then from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m., the House of Light and others, such as Yoga Kula here in Newman, will be offering different things for the sacred self, such as meditation. We're going to have yoga on the grass, and of course, probably more readings, and little booths will be around for people to visit and see what offerings are in the community. There is help here for everyone, no matter where you are on your path and what you're searching for. Reach out.
Exactly.
And
through the churches, through the healing centers, Backstreet Arts, it's just such a fabulous organization, and I just, my heart just sings praises for what Kim Ramey has been able to do, and the list goes on. You have Newman Theater Company, all of these aspects of people participating in life and love and sharing their journey.
Yes, and the cool thing about it is, last night we had a class at the House of Light on dragons, and it was really fun. And one of the participants, it was a client that came in, and we did a aura photography. We have the capability of taking a picture of the aura, and hers came back as she was creative. And she said, I've never seen myself as creative. And I said, really? I said, that's why we're here. We are all co-creators here on earth with Spirit, God, love, whatever you choose to call that power that is within you, within all things, that created all things. Absolutely. We're here to create. And she said, yeah, but I don't draw, I don't paint, I don't do any of those artsy things. And I said, oh my gosh, you don't have to do that to be creative. And she kind of looked at me. I said, do you cook dinner? No, I don't really like to cook. Okay. Do you, and I started just talking about normal everyday things. That is creativity. She trains service dogs. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is the most beautiful, creative thing you can do. To be a mentor for a puppy, to learn to, heal and help people that need those service dogs. It was, So,
So, Donna, one last thing I want to just mention is that we had this group from House of Light and Mr. Al Smith. We had the opportunity to go to Dunaway Gardens and have a garden tour with that incredible, beautiful piece of property, sacred piece of property, a lot of indigenous energies going through that. And we learned about that sacred healing stone where this piece
Little Stone Mountain.
Yep, little granite that is part of our geological history, where that piece of rock continues down from Stone Mountain all the way through Cochrane Mill, through Dunaway Gardens, and the natives on that property considered it as a sacred healing rock. But we were blessed with just a glorious day, and their unveiling as they recreate the gardens that were started in 1915, 1920, a century ago, and they're still unveiling some of the native plants that were planted back then. And the whole creativity story for Dunaway Gardens will continue, and I think Newman will be very much blessed by that.
Oh yes, it will become another healing oasis.
Yes.
And the beauty in that experience was being able to see when you give back that sacredness to earth. In other words, begin to care for her, what happens, what she gives back. Some of the plants that were out there, the beauty that was surrounding you was just so incredible.
And the
so incredible.
That was fascinating.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. So, I want to say thank you, Phyllis.
Well, thank you, Donna.
Not only for being here today, but for everything you do, especially for this community here in Newnan. Thank you so much.
I hope to see everyone out on Monday.
You are a beautiful light, and I'm going to be there. We hope to see you there on April 22nd from 12 to 1 p.m., the program, and then from 1 to 3 if you'd like to stay for some fun and healing, and come join us.
And we hope that this will continue or begin a
Earth Day celebration every year
here
in Newnan, Georgia.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you all so much, and thank you for tuning in to WQEE 99.1 FM.
You've been listening to the House of Light presents the Wisdom Cafe on 99.1 FM WQEE. The House of Light, a wellness center at 29 Jackson Street here in Newnan, is a place for people to relax and find true healing. For additional information, 407-414-6711. Remember to tune in next week for another healing message from the House of Light presents the Wisdom Cafe right here on 99.1 FM WQEE.